what it is that is broken. Now, let's take the next step. Let's try and understand, because everyone seems to be wondering, oh, I don't understand this bailout/rescue plan that the government's been in. What is the government actually doing? Explain that to us so we can understand it like a fifth grader.
Right. So the main problem, just to take the big picture, was that no one's lending to each other. So what the government at least said that they wanted to do is try to get the lending started again. So their bailout plan was essentially, let's buy out these toxic CDOs. Because let's say I'm a good bank that didn't get if Bank A is holding these toxic CDOs, I'm not sure if Bank A should be bankrupt if the toxic CDOs are worth nothing, or maybe they are good for the money. So there's a lot of uncertainty on what these are worth. The government, at least what they said they would do, is if they went in and essentially did these reverse auctions and bought these assets, then that all of a sudden would give confidence in these banks. There wouldn't be uncertainty as to whether you can loan them money, and maybe that'll free up the credit, the whole system again.
Will it work?
Probably not. If you think about what's going to happen psychologically. So Bank A, if you were to, let's say that, if you were to just switch this toxic CDOs and if you were to just turn that back into cash because the government just bought it for exactly what Bank A says it's worth. So if you just turn this into cash, the question is Bank A all of a sudden going to start lending? And there's a couple of things to think about, because besides that toxic CDO, there were other things on its balance sheet, and frankly, a lot of these things are starting to get a little bit toxic. No one's really talking about them right now, because if you have a dead skunk in your house, you're not going to notice that the milk's gone bad. So essentially, you have a lot of assets on your balance sheet right here that if you're a prudent bank manager, you're going to say, boy, I should just keep that cash, because if these turn toxic, because the economy might be turning south, or for whatever reason, I should just hold on to that cash so that I don't go bankrupt. So everyone is in complete survival mode, even the good banks. If somehow you were to give them capital, and Paulson's new version of the plan is that essentially they'll inject equity, so buy stocks. If you buy stock, you'll essentially make this pie bigger and put some cash here. But even this guy, the good bank, it's not so clear to me that he'll actually start lending. Everyone is in survival mode. This isn't a time to make new loans and take on new risks.
So it seems like the government went in and they have decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go in there and help these guys out. And as soon as we help them out, everybody will realize that now they have the government's backing, so other people will be interested in helping them. More people will give them their money. That hasn't worked. The people and other investors haven't bought into that. When we come back, I want to hear your idea of what perhaps the government should have done or could still do to rescue this. It's unique, it's different, and you and I had talked about it earlier, but I want you to be able to share it with our viewers. Also, curveball.